Some of the most secretive government research programs were hidden inside ordinary institutions, funded, approved, and later removed from official records. Most people believe unethical experiments only occurred in distant regimes. But documented history shows that even democratic governments approved programs that crossed serious ethical boundaries. Here are 3 real cases where official institutions conducted research without proper consent. The first case is the Tuskegee Study. In 1932, the United States Public Health Service began a long-term medical study in rural Alabama, involving 600 African American men. The participants were told they were receiving free health care for general conditions. However, the true nature of the study was far more complex. Key information about their actual medical status and the treatment options available was not fully disclosed to them. The study's stated goal was to observe the natural progression of a serious illness over time. The men were never told they had the illness, but rather that they were being treated for bad blood, a vague local term for various ailments. The critical ethical failure occurred when effective medical treatments became widely available in the 1940s. The study was not updated to offer these life-saving treatments to the participants. Instead, the men continued to be observed, and steps were even taken to prevent them from receiving standard medical care from other doctors. For 40 long years, the project continued without proper informed consent or transparency. The men and their families suffered needlessly, and many lives were lost that could have been saved. The truth finally came out in 1972 when an Associated Press reporter exposed the study to the world. The public outcry was immediate and immense. A later investigation confirmed major violations of medical ethics. This horrific chapter in American history led to significant national reforms in research standards, including the establishment of institutional review boards to protect human subjects in all government-funded research. The legacy of the Tuskegee Study deeply damaged the trust between African American communities and public health institutions, a wound that continues to be felt today. In 1997, a presidential apology was issued, but the story remains one of the most significant and sobering lessons in U.S. medical history. Next, we look at the MK Ultra program. In the 1950s, during the height of the Cold War, the CIA launched a top-secret research program known as MKUltra. Its goal was unsettling: to explore how certain substances and psychological techniques could be used for mind control and to influence human behavior. The agency was searching for a truth serum for interrogations and wanted to understand how to both resist and use brainwashing techniques. Some of these studies took place in hospitals, universities, and other seemingly normal institutions. Often, the participants had no idea they were part of a classified government program. Doctors, researchers, and even ordinary citizens were involved, sometimes unknowingly. Decades later, declassified files and court testimonies revealed the shocking scope of the program. Many individuals were exposed to experiments without their consent or any established safety guidelines. People were given powerful substances without being told what they were, and their reactions were documented. When the program was publicly investigated by Congress in the 1970s, the full extent of the operation was hard to determine. It was revealed that the CIA director had ordered the destruction of most MKUltra documents in 1973, leaving only fragments for investigators to piece together. Official reports concluded that the program had grossly violated ethical standards for human research. This scandal led to stricter rules on consent and oversight in future government studies, but it left a dark mark on the history of intelligence and scientific ethics. Finally, we turn to the Guatemala experiments. Between 1946 and 1948, the U.S. Public Health Service project conducted research in Guatemala, involving prisoners, soldiers, and patients in mental health institutions. The goal of this research was to study how to prevent serious diseases. However, the methods used were deeply unethical. Later investigations, based on documents uncovered by researchers in the 2000s, revealed that participants did not provide proper informed consent. Many were deliberately exposed to medical procedures without fully understanding what the research involved or the potential risks. The study was led by the same doctor who would later be involved in the Tuskegee study, and it appears to have been a precursor. Testing similar methods in a foreign country with even fewer protections for its citizens. The details of this program remained largely unknown for over 6 decades. It was only when a historian stumbled upon the archived papers of the lead researcher that the story came to light. In 2010, after the findings were confirmed, the United States issued a formal apology to the government and people of Guatemala. The U.S. government acknowledged the profound ethical violations and the complete lack of transparency in the study. This case has since become a major international example of why strict research standards and clear, voluntary consent requirements are absolutely essential, especially when powerful nations conduct research in other countries. These historical cases remind us that ethical standards in research were not always what they are today. They show why informed consent, transparency, and oversight are essential in any scientific or governmental project. The Tuskegee Study, MKUltra, the Guatemala experiments. These documented events reshaped laws, protections, and public expectations. Which historical case surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. We are the narrative bloom, transforming hidden history into clear understanding.